When I collected the original data, 2013 to 2015, I asked, what do you like most? What do you like least about reading in print? Those open-ended questions at the end of the survey. I was startled to see some of the following kinds of comments. What do you like least about reading in print? Just boring material and hard to read. Or it takes time to sit down and focus on the material. Okay, that doesn't sound so promising. And this from one of the students at the International School of Stavanger from 2019 spring. Print can tire you out really fast and get boring, no matter how interesting the book is. In contrast, in asking what do you like most about reading digitally, again for the university students and for the International School of Stavanger secondary school students, a couple of people said, what I like most about reading digitally is it's entertaining, it's fun. Well, if you could have entertainment or fun as opposed to having something boring, how would you vote with your feet? Because of seeing these comments about print being boring, my colleagues and I decided that when we looked at the students at the secondary school students at the International School of Stavanger, the International School of Amsterdam, spring 2021, fall 2021, we'd specifically ask a question using a Likert scale about whether reading in print or reading digitally was boring. So the question was, reading with print is boring, reading with a digital screen is boring, and you could say very much or not at all. Remember, this is during the height of the continuation of the pandemic, where overwhelmingly materials are still being read digitally, and everything else you're doing, it's your math homework, it's your physics homework, it's your art, it's everything is being done on a digital screen. So it's a little hard to separate out digital screen reading of the kind of, say, using an ebook versus digital screen everything else. And we asked about digital screen everything else, but it's not clear that it's fair to ask kids to make these distinctions. In any event, what came out was the number of students who said reading on a digital screen was boring was huge, compared with this number of students who said reading in print was boring. Okay. I don't know if normalcy ever comes back again, and if return to print happens, at least to whatever percent it was before the pandemic. I don't know if we'll see a shift in these perceptions again. We'll have to wait a couple of years to find out. But when I asked this question of those 35 students at American University, freshmen and sophomores, again asked just a couple of months ago, is reading in print, reading in print or reading with digital screen is boring? The far larger number of people said reading in print was boring, and they didn't, it was boring on digital screens, but it was worse with print. And I suspect this has to do with the fact that university students, particularly in the United States, have been doing digital reading for academic purposes for a long time. High schools in the United States very, very heavily use digital books long before the pandemic, and that only heightened. Middle school students, even lower school students are using digital books. So I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that into the international schools, they had been using print, and now suddenly they were thrown into an overwhelming amount of digital. So again,